I mean, Avery, are you a good boy? Mama's good boy. What? What you doing? Pew, 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 pew. Hey, Kenny. How are you this morning? Oh, no problem. I'm just chilling. Okay, I've finished with those. Shannon, yes. It's a total mess. I was putting all the blues together. See, it's like making a stew or soup or something. Just kind of mix them all together and see what it comes up with. Yeah, I was in the middle of, I probably should not have put all those in there. Oh, well, it's okay. So yeah, I'm doing that crazy thing. I started with the yellows, right? And I said, well, I've done the yellows, might as well do the oranges, and on and on. So I'm gonna slog it out and finish it up. And today I'm working on the blues. You're making my eye twitch. Making my eye twitch too. I have lost my mind long ago. Wow. Well, you know, I'm not going to do that on stream, so you don't have to worry about going crazy or being food poisoned or whatever. I'm going to color in this. I thought that I would work on one of the whips that I'd started recently. Yeah, I know, I knew it would be hard, time consuming and whatever, and maybe a little nutty, but I'm trying to think, would I do it again? Probably, because I have this great need of having things in order, even though my house doesn't really look like that. And so I guess it's some OCD. Yep. So once I've done the blues, then I'll have the aquas and the greens and then browns and grays. So I'll have, when I'm done with the blues, which I'm almost done actually, I will have the 4 left. The gray, I'm trying to think. I think the orange, so anywhere from yellow orange to red orange, there was a lot of colors. Purple was a little smaller than that. The blues, I didn't include the aquas in there because it would have, I mean, it was a disaster on my table anyway, but I didn't. Hey, Marcy. Oh, yeah. I mean, they are. They're a lot alike. There's some variations, just very tiny variations. Um, yeah, it does. I mean, I did a whole nother thing where I compared Prismacolors and what was the equivalent in other sets, and some of them didn't have an equivalent. So that was quite an undertaking. I thought this was hard, but this is probably the craziest. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to get any more pencils because then I won't have to redo it. No, I do want the Derwent ink tints, but the ink tints and the watercolor I was going to put together because they both activate with water, at least with water, so I didn't include those in here. Oh yeah, I think I need another cup. So last night, I guess I went to bed at my usual time, which is about 11:30. It's still too late. I should still go to bed earlier. But I laid down and I was all ready to go to sleep. I had my Bible being read in my ear, went on through my earbuds, and I was starting to fall asleep, and boom, my right leg started to twitch. And I go, no. I'll sit there or lay there for 5 to 10 minutes thinking, no, it'll go away, it'll stop. Great. So I got up and took another half a pill for that. And then I stayed up a little longer, so it was almost 2 o'clock. And then my dogs got me up. They let me sleep a little bit later today. That was nice. But I had to get up to teach a class, which I did. Anyway, usually the restless leg is in my left leg. But last night it was in my right leg, so I don't know what that's all about. Tanya! Thanks for coming. Anyway, I said all that to say something. I don't know. I'm tired. I was going to maybe work in this one. I have not done anything. No, I don't want to do Rooms of Wonder today. I'm trying to think what other whips I have. Oh, yeah, I've got this one. And I have Nightfall. Got this one. I think I used Prismacolors on that. So in this one I've got this page. I've done most of it. I've got these little bits left. What I used on this, I was so excited. I have the, I could show y'all that. So, you know those markers with the neat little tips, interesting brush tip? It's kind of a foamy type of spongy thing. Well, I bought one of the Artex ones, and the other one is, I guess, a generic. It didn't have a name on the box or anything. I think I showed y'all that before. Anyhow, they both have this gold and silver that's just amazing. And that is going to fall, and the dog is going to go, whoa. Anyway, so I used that to line this part. So I could do that. This one is, actually, I don't think I'll work on this one. I'll work on this tomorrow, because this one is a buddy color with Nico over on her Discord, and I wanted to try to do a picture with just ink tints, and so that's the one I started. That was all ink tints. This one, of course, has other stuff in it. Does this little motif appear anywhere else in the book, or is it just for that? Does anybody know? It's usually the first page. Has a little bit of all the other pages. Maybe this one doesn't. I don't see it. I was going to demonstrate how I did that. Oh, hey, look at that. Look at that. It's right there. Oh, my goodness. That's so cool. All right, well, then the choices are continue to work on this, or show you how I did this with the ink tints on this page, or work in Circle of Life or Nightfall. Do you have any preference? I like how this one's shiny. But then do I want to do the same thing on this one? Show how you find the motifs on the front. Oh, okay, okay. Cool. I don't mind doing it the same colors. At least this part. Alrighty. It took me, okay, can you see at the bottom of this page here? See, I did a lot of testing. Yeah, I have a lot of ink tints out. Of course, my table's a disaster as always. Let's see, I don't need that. Deep blue, dark aqua, white, and what was the purple? No, that was the purple. Purple, yeah. What was it, mauve? Was it mauve? I think it was mauve. It wasn't marvelous. Oh, come on, water brush. Oh, brother. I don't know if this water brush is dying or I'm just doing it wrong. I don't know. I don't think it was the mauve. I thought it was a different purple. Deep violet, that's it. Yay. Sometimes the way I start is I think of one color that I want to use on the page, and then I'll say, where do I want that one color? Well, I'd like for this feather to be whatever color that you pick. You just start with that. So instead of seeing the whole page at once, which I tend to do, okay, I have to focus myself on one spot. And the one that I had actually had some trouble with was this one. But I knew that I picked my little cards out, and I didn't know what flower would be what color, so I just started with green. I knew I wanted the leaves to be green, so I just started those. And then I knew I wanted this flower to be to be yellow, and so I did that one in yellow. I knew I wanted this to look like bluebonnet, so I made those blue. And then I just kind of did a little bit of this and that. And I'm still not sure what some of these will be, but at least that's how I started. Was you just focus on one color on one piece. I'm sure there are many other ways to do it, but that's the way I have to do it. Otherwise, I look at this page and I go, oh no, wait a minute, let's focus. And that's how I did that one. Hey, Danielle, thanks for coming in. Hey, Rinka. Rasp? Who is Rinka? Is that Rainbow Kitty Danielle or is it somebody else? I'm so confused. Yeah, focus, definitely focus. How about we focus on getting you closer to the page? Okay. There's a couple of people it took me a while to figure out who they were because, like, True You, I didn't know that her name was Angela for a while because no one ever called her True You. They called her Angela. And I thought, who's Angela? Who's Angela? Why won't this let me? Okay, I see. That's a little closer. It's a little closer. All right, now if this sort of thing makes you sick, then look away for a second. I'm gonna lower my boom arm. I'm gonna try to do it slowly so I don't make y'all sick, but this way I can zoom you in really well. Ooh! Wow! Now it's gonna move. It almost needs a weight. Why does it keep moving like that? Oh. Okay, it's getting on my nerves, but we're gonna do this anyway. I'm not sure why. Oh, how about I take the page out? Oh no! Oh no! Hey, Fossil! Rip. All right. All right, it's out. Yay! Are you proud of me? I'm proud of me. Means I have to put more stuff behind here. I was trying to get this bottom part in it. There we go. Hot dog. All right. How many of you sharpen your ink tints? I feel like I'm wasting stuff when I do that, but there's some little spots that you can't get very well unless you do. See, that is, I really can't get into a spot with that, so. I'm going to sharpen it just a little bit. The bare minimum. You can, of course, do this with any colors, but these are the colors I used. I started with deep purple. Sorry, deep violet 760. Oh, you do you? Yeah. And then I used dark aquamarine 1210. Deep blue 850. I also used the black and the white. The ink black and antique white. All right, I'm going to try to move. Probably should just leave well enough alone. I'm just trying to get this light out of my way. It's really grating. And it keeps wanting to come over here and hover over my head. Urgh. All right. So these are little stalactites. Stalagmites. Well, I guess they could be. No, they have to be stalagmites. And I just took the deep violet and I didn't color all the way up. There's probably prettier and better ways of doing this, but this is the way I did it. Sorry. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and activate that because that's just what I want to do. I don't think that there is a because. All right, so when I do this, I only wanted to put the purple, the deep violet here so that I could sort of blend it out lighter at the top. Oh, I missed a spot. Well, that's okay because I'll have enough here for the rest of it. And then I just kind of lift my pencil lift my water pen as I go. My hand's wanting to. You can actually pick up some of the color if you go fast, but if you wait, you're up a tree. I see that was extra. My hand wants to just shake today. Uh-oh. Hi, Bria. Yeah, see, I got a little bit of there because I'm a little shaky today. Kind of wiping as I go because I put a whole bunch of ink tints on that. Okay. So there's the purple. The next thing I did was I took white and I went around the stalagmites. The ones that grow from the cave floor up are stalagmites because they might reach the ceiling. The ones that go from the ceiling down are called stalactites because they are tight against the ceiling. That's how I learned the difference long ago. Now, of course, you can't see that you're putting white down here. You just have to have faith that the white is actually coming out. I'm sure, I keep saying this, I'm sure there are better ways and other ways to do this, but this is just how I did it. All right, then I took the dark aquamarine. I'm glad you like it, Bria. Ooh, I get dizzy there for a second. Ugh, looking up and down so quick. Oh. And then I sort of went around the white. And I'm not worried about the little dots in the background at this point. And then I kind of color in a little more. Okay. And then I use the deep blue. And then the black. I think I need to sharpen that. Yeah, it is. Down here in Texas, in a town called Georgetown. It's a suburb, a northern suburb of Austin. There's a place there called Inner Space Caverns, and I remember going there as a child. And of course we took our daughter there, and homeschool groups, you know, went there. And the first time I ever went there, it was just wow, you know. And that's where they taught about about those. All right, now let's see if I can't repeat what I did on all of the other ones. You think after doing this so many times that I would remember. Now you can always put more color in if you don't. Excuse me. I really need another cup of coffee. But I'll use water. Anyway, you can always add more color. So I started with the blue. I need to get in the frame here. My camera's way up here. I wonder if I can't bend that down a little bit so I don't have to. Hey, Connie. I'm using Inktense today. So when you activate the blue, you're also activating that white. I'm just really lightly going here because I feel like I've put too much blue in there. Concentrating, sorry. I think I needed more white. Okay, so I went into, I can bring that down just a little more. Now I'm going to go into that deep blue. Bring it down just a hair. Maybe a little more than a hair. And then finally the black. I might have put too much black there. That's okay because then I can go back up a little bit with that medium blue. And I could put a little more black. Well, what I'm trying to do is, I'm not having as much success as I'd like. I just keep working it and working it until I get it the way I want it. Okay, that's pretty good. Excuse me. I'm not going to use my blow dryer, even though I've got one here. We're just going to let it do that. I could do this part in a silver instead of in the gold, just so it'll be different. Then the other page, I could work on that while we're waiting. Ooh. Can't really tell much right now because you don't have this background. Ah. These are the Artex acrylic markers. So what is your Thursday gonna look like? Are y'all busy? You chilling? Little bit of both. I really like how that gold stood out though, didn't I? But I think this, once I get everything going around it, I think it'll stand out more. Gosh, if I lean back, I can see bits I've missed. It's Friday. Oh, yeah, Friday. Usually I have a ton of classes in the evening, and I can't really pay a lot of attention to Tanya's and Emily's live streams. But China had a holiday earlier this week, and so they're all going to school on Saturday, which would be my Friday night. I have one class on Friday night. But then they all rushed to fill up the Saturday night, so I've got like 8 classes in a row. So tonight I get a reprieve, and then it really gets me on that. And I what's the word? I got the dates mixed up for our camping trip, and so I went ahead and just opened classes for Saturday night. And then I said something about, well, Steve asked me about ice, and I said, why do you want to get ice? It's not until next week. And he said, no, it's this weekend. What? So I have to do a whole lot of classes instead of going to bed early on Saturday night, but that's all right. I guess this is dried enough. Maybe I can fan it. With something. Okay. I'm glad you like it. I think that's close enough. Close enough for government work. Now some of this, I think I used the white. Wrong one. I don't remember if I did that or not. But I feel like I need to do this on here. Just take the white Prismacolor. Y'all, I may have to go get some lemon water. I was trying not to use any other pencils on this, but I may have to. All right. Then I took my Posca. Hey, Catherine. I'm definitely going to have to go get something. And I can kind of see where some of these dots are. If it starts kind of oozing into that blue, then I'll know, well, I should have waited a little bit longer. Also found that Posca stars cover a lot of boo-boos. Oh, I can't really see it down there. Oh, and then I'm not sure if this is a good idea or not, but I just barely put the Posca on top of these stalagmites. Still kind of wet down there. So that's what I did. Now they look like they're glowing. Hey, Ambient. Thanks for coming. Marcy, what do you think? Connie says, I bought some beautiful digipaper that I printed and now playing with. Oh, right. What would you like me to do next? You want me to do that again? Or work on the actual other page I was working on? I mean, it'll be really boring, but I could just go around. Round and around and around. Thanks. See, on this, instead of doing green, I wanted to do gold. And I said, wait, the Artex brush marker pens, they have a beautiful gold, and it'll make this a really, well, I don't know if it shortens the work time or if it's easier on my hand, but it looks good. I mean, well, I have a shaky hand and I'm still able to do this, so anybody can do it. I just have to hold my hand in a certain way. Grip it hard. shake so much. It looks like on these I might have, okay, yeah. On this one, I wasn't paying attention and I ended up putting some of that purple into the sky. Luckily, I only did that for like 1.5 of these. So, you might not be able to get, well, you can't really. You can't really get ink tints off because it's ink. But when you haven't activated it yet, you can get off a lot of it. And that's why on these, you can't tell that there was actually some purple there. This one you can because I had activated it already. So, yeah. Okay. I'm really tired this morning, and this looks like this might be relaxing. I haven't figured out how to get music on here. I really was just doing this page as a test, and one that I didn't really want to do a lot of thinking on. So I just picked the three or four colors there and just started on it. Instead of like picking color cube cards and going through those, I thought let's try to just keep it simple. Oh, so these particular markers, they do not bleed through at all. They're acrylic, but they just don't bleed through. They're kind of like, what is that like? Water-based markers. It is. I like it better than the Uniball Gold. Well, maybe I do like the Uniball Gold. I know. What I'll do is I will make this like the dark, you know, like a shadow almost. I think that'll be nice. That'll give it some pop. Yeah, I think I like that. It's a different gold. It's almost more orangey when what I'm putting on here. Yeah. This is more greeny gold, and this is more orangey gold. Oh, that's cool. I like it. I like it. Let's see, Connie, you're in your evening, aren't you? What, have you had dinner yet, or are you still, you're still in the afternoon? I mean, you've not gotten to dinner. Not gotten. I was always told that the word gotten was slang. It wasn't like a legitimate grammar type of thing. Although, especially in the South, well, I think everywhere we use it. But I don't think about it as proper English. And then I'm getting ready to teach a class, and I look at the material real quick, and it says gotten, have gotten. I think, wow, are we teaching them slang, bad grammar? But I guess when I was writing, I would try not to use the word got. I got something. I have something. But now that I've taught it, I think, well, if they're teaching the Chinese kids the word got and gotten, then it must be correct use of the word. Ah, 5:20. Wow, what a difference, Kenny. 8:21 a.m. I'm at 10:22 a.m. Hey, Sue, how are you? And Connie is at 5:20 p.m. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You could have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with everyone at the same time. So, do y'all use gotten or got? I suppose in the South we might tend to use it incorrectly, like I gotta go, I got to go. Or you could say I got to go to the store to buy some more art supplies. Or I gotta go. We just blend it together. Some of this stuff I don't even think about and never thought about, but when you start to teach it, then you think, oh, well, am I using that phrase correctly? I didn't know that was actually a grammar rule or some kind of silly thing like that. It's really interesting. And I catch myself, and we all do it, we self-correct, especially in things like they and so-and-so and so-and-so were or are, were. I mean, that's just a small example, but we self-correct. But I notice more often now because I'm teaching it. Yeah, that's very true. Sometimes that's the only word that works. See, I've got a bunch of stuff in my way here because my desk is a wreck. And oh, there goes that. See if I can't move some of this out of the way. I've got all these blue pencils everywhere. Where wasn't I? I was over here. Yeah, sorry, I'm moving the page. but I have to turn it a certain way to be able to use my right hand. Also, I'm trying to make sure I keep it in the center. When you zoom in, the center becomes a very, very focused spot. Hi, V. Thanks for coming. And it doesn't take much to get out of that spot. So I just got to keep checking. I thought I might do the anchor and the telescope in a silver, and maybe not ink tints, I'm not sure. This little bit here, I use that same light blue, the dark aquamarine. And then I used a little bit of Prisma around the edges. Yeah, just colors that were similar here, and darker around the edges of that and inside here. I'm still not sure about this part. Like maybe I should have made this less a less obvious transition. This is a slower transition. I don't know. Also, I used that Derwent, the Inktense liner pencil. And is that something that's supposed to come off with eraser? Or do you get it off in some other way? I really don't know enough about that particular one. See, I've got it everywhere down here. It kept the blue from coming into these parts, but you know, how do I get that off? Maybe some of you can help me out on that. Give me some advice. Pretty please. So hungry. No, it's about time for a snack. Why did I use what? Oh, I used it to keep the blue from getting into the anchor. So, I mean, the only thing I can think of is using my electric eraser. So I don't know. Liner pencil, where did I put it? I don't think I put it back. Did I put it back? Oh, here it is. From what I understand, it's supposed to be a pencil you can use to keep the ink tints from getting to an area. It looks really just like a regular pencil, but then it looks like you can erase it, but it's not going to come up all that well. Yeah, so I really don't know. It can kind of erase, but probably though when I color the anchor, and then I'll go back over the edge with the white, it'll kind of cover over it maybe. Something like that. I don't know. Seems logical. I really haven't used it. Felt the need to use it, but then maybe there is something that something it is good for. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. What you think? Pretty good? You re-swatched your Prismas. Okay, why did you re-swatch your Prismas? I've probably re-swatched mine a dozen times, seems like. I could use this on here, but it's opaque for the most part. It's going to cover over it. So it might be better to use the colors of silver. Oh, I see. Well, that makes sense. I definitely like it when things match. I had started redoing my swatches on these kind of little swatch cards, and I came to the Black Widows and I saw that what I wanted to do, or the reason I wanted to do these, is so that I can put it up next to something and it's easier to figure out what color is where. And when I realized that with the way I did the Black Widows, all I had to do was cut that edge off and it would pretty much do the same thing. And so I haven't bothered to re-swatch these. So they're like, it's good enough. The only other one that I didn't do that with was the Mark Arts. I'm not sure if I want to redo those. I had the Brute Funer macaroons interspersed with this, and I said, no, I'm going to take them out. Mainly because I needed the space, or I needed the case for a different set. And so I just took them back out and re-swatched. And I suppose I could re-swatch those. I don't know. Marcy, you and I think, must be in the minority on the swatching. I love to swatch, as is evidenced by all this sorting I've been doing lately. I think the only reason I would re-swatch anything is so that my pencils all will have this type of card, or that I can't see it very well. With the Prismas, I'm actually thinking of re-swatching those to on their own card. Everything's falling. Because being that they're a soft wax pencil, whenever I went to laminate, it actually fades out. And so these aren't exact. They're okay, but they're not exact. So when I undertook this giant task of doing a comparison chart, swatch card chart, I actually didn't laminate them, and they are a little bit more vibrant than they are in this one. So from then on, I didn't laminate my cards, even though it makes it really nice, really stiff, and it's not going to easily tear. I like it better this way because you can see the colors a lot more clearly. Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. That re-swatching when the new ones come out. That's a good question. That is a good question. Where will we put the new ones? Will we re-swatch the entire thing? Or will we just put it at the end? I mean, my cards don't have any blanks at the end, so don't know. That is a good question. Oh, you enjoy swatching too, Kenny? Yeah, yeah. I definitely like swatching. It's sort of like, oh, this is probably a silly comparison, but it's sort of like when you get a new haircut or just your haircut trimmed, you feel better. It's like, I feel, oh, I don't know what you feel. I feel like a weight's been lifted, even though it's probably just a few ounces. You just feel better. I think swatching is a little bit like that. You just feel better when you're done. Or else your hand is in a cramp and you've got to do a lot of stretching. Leslie, you're crazy. What are you talking about? I actually did swatch these too. And on the back, I've put all my swatch cards. I've put what they are on the back because some of them are so much alike that, well, and I just can't always tell. I can tell from some of the names, but anyway, it just made it easier to do that. So I swatched the two kinds of markers. I think I was telling you this the other day, that this marker has all of the ones in one of the Arctic sets. They're all the same, except it does add 6 more colors in there, the 2 of which are the gold and the silver. But the other Arctic's marker set, the one that has the darker ones in it, are different. And so since these are less expensive, I decided to keep those, send the other ones back, and get the darker set. And anyway, then I decided to swatch them. So here I put W or B for white or black barrel, and then I put the number. So they give you a number, but they don't give you a name. And you know how we like naming stuff. I just took pretty much from all my sets whatever would match, and then wrote that name down for that color. This one right here, I'm not sure, it didn't go into the browns or the greens very well. So I just kind of stuck it up here. It sort of looks like ginger root, maybe. That gives me, well, it's got 2 whites, 2 silvers are definitely the same, 2 golds. The golds is just a little bit different, but I would say this gold is a little bit more like this one. The silvers are pretty much the same. The blacks actually were different. This is a little bit lighter. I called it 90% warm. Oops, sorry, I just hit the camera. Oh, I'm sorry. Ruh-roh. So if y'all want to put together those 2 sets, you can have my color order and names if you want, or you just do it yourself. Yeah, in fact, Burb, I need to get something. Sorry, I'll be back. Talk amongst yourselves. had to get something different to drink. Something with a little bit more calories in it. Thanks for being patient. I jump around between one page, one project, and another. I was told long ago, always just do the one thing that you start on the stream. And then occasionally I would see somebody say, okay, I'm done with this part. Let's work on this other thing. And I thought, well, maybe it doesn't matter if you jump from one thing to the other. Like this right here might be boring for y'all to watch me do. Hey, Gail. Can I even see her? Oh, there she is. Goodness gracious. Well, awesome. I'm glad you come in and get some entertainment out of me. I don't know if I'm very entertaining, but gosh, I still can't clear my throat. Y'all just let me know if this is boring. I'll switch to something else. I'm really enjoying using these pen marker things, and the ink tints. So I didn't use the ink tints as much as I'd liked, and so when the new 28 came out, you know, there's more pages being done with ink tints, and I thought, okay, well, I need to practice using them. So I have. So far, I've only used a little bit of like white or powder blue on some of this from Prismas. But I was trying to see if I could do an entire page with just the ink tints, but I think it's almost impossible, at least for me right now. I don't have as much experience as some. Because you get this unevenness, and you've got to go in there with a pencil to make it look better. Different transitions and stuff like that. I've seen people do many things in a stream. They just introduce the change and go, oh, I see. I am so sorry. Keep clearing my throat. It must be something in the air today. I don't know if any of you caught Nico's live stream yesterday. It kind of ran into Connie's. So I think some of y'all were in there. Anyway, I guess maybe it was her last section that she was working on that day. She was just doing amazing pencil work in there. And then she came on top of that and used, I'm not sure if she used a gel pen or if she used a brush marker, but it looked really good. And I have no idea why I wanted to tell you all that. Oh, fibro brain. Hey, Marilyn. Oh, I know why I was telling that. It's because she worked on a couple of things in her live stream. Now, she went like 3 hours. And she's very interesting to listen to. But that was something she did differently too. I'm almost done with this gold. I'm wondering if some of these are supposed to be feathers. Don't know. They're going to be gold feathers. Yeah, I do too. I'd like to go back and watch that one that was from yesterday. Rewatch it. Especially about the part, the glowing part. But, oh boy, I don't necessarily like all the subject matter that she colors, but there are some that just shake my brain. They're amazing. And I thought, how in the world did she do that? It's phenomenal to look at her stuff. And the way she colored that lady in that live stream, she colored the hair. I mean, the hair was good, obviously good, but the way she put the shadow behind the lady to make her pop out from that background. So whenever I feel like I've done a really great job on a page, then I go and look at some other pages people have done and I think, oh my goodness, I thought I was pretty good. But that's getting into comparison, and that's not a good thing to do with any aspect of life. But I try to let it inspire me instead of any kind of discouragement or whatever. I'll say, well, I'm going to try that. And if they have a tutorial, then the better. I can see how they did it. So that's the way I try to look at it, is inspirational. I think everybody, no matter what level of skill or whatever, has inspired me in one way or the other. So everybody inspires me. Oh, you didn't? Yeah. She does several things in each of her live streams. She'll talk about some books that she got, or an artist, or she will actually do not a whole entire page, but get a lot of a page done. Or she might do a part of a page and then go to something else to demonstrate a technique. And I really like that. I was thinking about this, doing this book. Does it look like this is obviously a sky, and I suppose that's supposed to be the sun. I'm not sure what those are supposed to be, but oh, I missed a little spot. I missed a lot of little spots actually, but hopefully you can't see them. See them all. If they bother me enough, I'll go and pick at it until I'm satisfied. But what is this? Is this sand or water coming out of this book? Maybe it doesn't matter. I wonder if this is clouds. See, the birds come all the way down here, and these lines go down into this. So I don't know. Are clouds coming out? Water could be coming out if it makes clouds, you know, water vapor. I don't know. I've just got to think of what that would look like. And if I want to continue with ink tints on that. Since I don't have the light blue that's in the 28, I've got to use the white on here in order to get that blue, get that light blue. So I think I'm going to cover this part. Okay. Yeah, it's looking more like water. Water's coming out into the clouds. That looks sort of like clouds. Those are birds. I don't know. It is what it is. Now I'm going to lightly put this in. This is the dark aquamarine. It doesn't look dark or like aquamarine, or what I envision aquamarine to be. But this will keep the theme of the different blues that are in the corner. Yeah, I can still go back with a white Posca to bring the clouds back. Okay. Yeah, thanks. Okay, that's wet enough. I'm trying to make this smooth. I was thinking of, I think of a lot of things. Of like for each week focusing on a different medium or something. But it'd be a while before I got to some of them. I guess it's that way as it is. That's a little dark. It's all right. Boy, my mind is just wandering all over the place. Come on. So I've got this other water brush. It's the same company, but the water comes out of it without a problem. Almost too much. Come on out. There it is. So this is the Kuretake. I think that's how you say it. Kuretake water brush. And I was thinking of getting getting the Durant one because it was push button. I might just have to do that with a different color. Find a different pencil. The water's just coming out really fast with that one. But then Shannon said something about a dollar store, Dollar Tree or something. Water pen worked better than the Durant one, push button one. So I don't know, what is y'all's experience with water brushes? So I can either get the one water brush, the small one, or I can have to wait a month for it to arrive. Or I can get the set of 4 and, you know, spend more. I don't know. These seem to work fine right now. So I thought, why not? Why bother getting new ones? I guess they would have to be so much better than these that I would rush out to get it, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use a regular pencil for that. What I'm going to do there. Hey, Pickle! It was being a pain in the rear, that Derek one. Oh, it was? Yeah. These can be also, I mean, I've gotten a lot of mileage out of this pen. This one is just, the water comes out so much faster than I want it to on there, so I don't know. I thought that the Durant one might have more more control. I don't know. All right, now the book. If I'm going to make the other 2 things silver, then I think I'll make that one silver too. What shall I use to make that silver? Let's see. I think we'll do cool gray. $90. Cool gray 50. Cool gray 30. And maybe black. And a little bit of slate gray. I think maybe I'll use that instead of the cool gray 50. That one might be a little dark. I don't know what happened to my cool gray 70. Unless I just put it back in the wrong place. That cool gray 70. That is bizarre. Whoops. Okay, well, I'll see how this goes in testing. Oh yeah, the smallest one. Yeah, I definitely used the smallest one. Okay, I don't think I'll use cool gray 90. Okay. Well, now I'm looking at this going, this looks like the sky and some clouds. I'll just make the edges silvery. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I'm not in this. I'm not in the, gosh, I can't even think today. Not in the camera. Some days are just hard to think. Especially if I haven't had any sleep. I'm not sure I am making this silver at all. It's just gray. Okay. I'm gonna take that dark, the deep blue. Woo! Now that's blue. Hello, blue. I love this blue. Wow. Does the full moon keep you from sleeping well? Maybe that's why I had restless leg. I'm going to write down whenever, see, I take a medication for it because nothing else helped. But I only take the bare minimum that I need. Once in a while, I need to take a little bit more. So I'm just wondering if full moons have anything to do with it. I really don't know. All right, then I'm going to put white on these clouds. Come in with the same blue. Oh, it's purple. Darn it. I suppose I got it on purple clouds. That's what got me messed up before, is I did not look before I leapt. Never do that. All right. Let's make sure I've got enough white down there. Yeah, isn't that amazing blue? I just love it. Well, I was trying to make it lighter. It is a challenge controlling the flow of the water here. But I like the challenge, I guess, so. Okay. Now I'm going to put in sure I'm ruining it. I was trying to make it darker, you know. It's all right. It's all right. Let's see if it. I mean, I used a lot of water there, and it's, you know, come through a little bit. You're feeding your brats. Don't be sorry. Feeding me with a drink. So I drink this special drink, and what color should that planet be? I think I'll make it green. So I drink this special drink to help some of my ailment. But I have to be careful what I say. And I've mentioned this drink before on Facebook. Ooh, that is so green. Look at that. So green. And I mentioned it in reference to what usually ails me. I think some of y'all know what that is. And I got an email. Oh, it was a text at first, and I thought, oh, it must be a spam because it looks kind of spammy. And it's not coming up. So I basically just ignored it. And then I got an email with it. The same kind of thing. Ooh, I just put the darker. Let me tell you what I used. I used the apple green and the beach green on that. Now it looks like it's popping out. I love it. So the email and the text said something about you need to retract what you said. And so I was a post that I made, but in the comments is where the problem was. I don't know how they found that, but that particular company, you know, got a hold of me, and I finally did answer because I wasn't sure. Maybe it's the real company is trying to call me, and so I answered, and they told me what the problem was, and I go, oh, okay, I'll go fix it. And so I answered, and they told me what the problem was, and I go, oh, okay, I'll go fix it. And so I answered, and they told me what the problem was, and I go, oh, okay, I'll go fix it. And so I answered, and they told me what the problem was, and I go, oh, okay, I'll go fix it. And So I did, but it was amazing to me how saying one or two things, they're able to find it somewhere on Facebook. And it had been a while since I wrote that too. So anyway, it's kind of frustrating. I kind of like that blue. I think we're dry enough here. This is Copenhagen blue. Actually, I may use I think I may use powder blue also. It's just amazing how they were able to find it. And I think I'll start with the lighter color here. I'm just trying to blend out some of those transitions here. I'm not sure why I told you all that. But that's what I was drinking. That's what I'm drinking. And it does help my ailment. But I can't tell you that and mention the name of the product. But if you want to know what the product is, you can just text me or Instagram. I'm trying to go to Instagram more often. I'm not sure I like the way this powder blue is working here. I think I prefer the sky blue light. It's just one of those wacky things that you got to think about. Look how small that pencil is. Of course, I got another one, so it's okay. A stupid plastic holder. Hey, you know, at least it had a swatch chart in it. There are some that don't have anything at all. And they don't have names. I guess they didn't want to spend the time on... I wonder if there's like a naming team. Like, okay, you are going to be the naming team for this new pencil we're coming out. And sit here with the colors and try to name them. Thank you, we'll pay you at the end of the day. Okay, now I'm going to take non-photo blue. That would be fun to be on a naming team. So they probably just didn't want to have a naming team. No, let's don't bother. It'll cost extra. People won't mind. They can name them their own stuff. Yeah. The first marker that I bought was probably November of 21. And it's the Ohuhu water markers. It was a, you know, it was a lightning deal, and it comes with like 100 and, was it 180? And I thought, whoa. And anyway, they had numbers that were not only not in number order, they weren't even in color family order. I mean, they didn't start with, okay, here's 1, here's 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe it did do that. Maybe they were in number order, but not in color order. Anyway, the point is, what is my point? I do have a point. That it was completely not in order. I thought, I can't deal with that. Oh, I know. It was, they came in a random order. Then I ordered them by color, by number, and that didn't go either. There was another one like that. The Sioux colors were, I think, were my first big set. And, oh, I did get the Christmas first. But I just put them in order that they had there. But the Sioux color, I tried to put them in number order, but it was completely random colors, no order whatsoever. So I undid all that and put everything in color order. I decided that then and there that I prefer family order than number order, which really makes more sense. But it would be nice if some of their numbers were sort of orderish. A naming team. What would you like to name? I'm good at naming stuff. I like naming stuff. Well, I don't know if I'm good at it, but I like naming stuff. If there's ever a contest for naming things, I try to get into it. And where is... I was trying to find my small white pencil. What if I put it back in here? Oh, oh well. The white pencils all end up in each of my cases, but not always. I'm gonna try to lighten up this side of this. I don't know why, I just do. Sister phone. Do you have a brother phone too? And as far as my pets go, I don't just name them one thing. I give them middle names. There was a cat we had once that I named her name plus all of her kittens' names that she had at the house. Of course, it was just verbally. It wasn't like written down. Ooh, ooh. I'm liking what this white's doing. Maybe when it pours out, then I can come back with a non-photo blue. You need names for your paints. All right. Usually if I don't have names for something like markers. Oh, in fact, the Ohuhu markers I was telling you about, they don't have names. I didn't ever give them names. They do have numbers, but that's it. Ohuhu names their other stuff. Why didn't they name these markers? I don't know if you can see this, but all those colors, and you have all these colors, and then you have, this is like flap open, there's all the browns. So I put these in color family order. I wonder now that I've put so many things in color family order if maybe I'm better at it than I was. Okay, so this is their color chart. They do have them in number order, but they're not in color family order. A few of them are together, like here's a couple of greens and oranges, but I mean, they're just scattered everywhere. And then you can swatch them, which they're gonna swatch by number. And here you can tell they're just all over the map. Except for maybe a few of these that are very much alike. So you got blues. Everything is everywhere. So that's what I did when I got those, is I put them in color family order. And then I haven't used them much in the year and a half that I've had them. Mainly because I was concentrating on learning how to use the pencils, colored pencils, rather than the markers. And I just didn't bother. But now that I know that I don't have to be afraid of markers, and I know what books I can use them in, I'll probably do that. I'll work with them a little bit more. Okay, now I'm going to go in with this Copenhagen on top of the blue I just put down. I might get really dark here. Well, as you saw earlier, I just used names from other sets on these. I thought it might make more sense so that I could associate a name with, wait a minute, these are the, that's not the one I was showing you. Where was I? See, that's how fast I lose stuff. Here it is. Yeah, this is the markers. So I just used the name of other, a similar color in the pencil set. So I would associate that with that, those colors, and I would know, oh, I know what gray slate is, and I know what French ultramarine is, and they're all from different sets. So because not all of these were covered in Prismas. I'm definitely going to take a nap today. I've got to make myself go to bed at a decent time. You think being so tired that it would be easy for me to go to bed, but sometimes it's just too much trouble. Sometimes it's too much trouble to get up. I've even put my pajamas on early and brought my medication in here with me so that at a certain time I could take it and maybe I would get sleepy enough. But then I found I'm so tired that I don't want to get up. I'm so undisciplined when it comes to going to bed. I'm sure it was that way when I was a kid too. What y'all think? Think this is coming up pretty well? Cool beansies. Bye, Kenny. Thanks for coming in. I think I'm going to line the edge with the dark one a little more. If I live stream on Tuesday, it will be from the campsite, and I don't know how well the internet's going to be there. In this particular park, the coverage, the internet coverage there is really lousy in some spots. And we haven't written down exactly the campsites that have the better internet, although we can remember them pretty well. But since I got the dates mixed up, I have to teach 2 classes from there. And I'm just grateful that it wasn't more than 2 classes, because it was it would have been terrible. I mean, I have fewer classes on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and even Thursday. Friday and Saturday are the big ones. If I were to open really early classes, like 6:37, I would get they would easily fill up, but I don't really want to do that. I don't want to get up that early, mainly because I'm a night owl. why I don't like to go to bed. I like to stay up. The house is quiet. I mean, the house is quiet anyway, but you know, the world outside is asleep. So I'm just lining this with Posca. I'm not going over the actual line of the book. I'm going next to it. So, wow, that makes it look like it's glowing. I love making things glow. I don't know if I want to do that on the planet. I kind of like how it's, I think I'd just leave the planet alone. Anyway, what do you think? You like it? I could try a little watercolor on that planet and make it, where's my watercolor? Oh. Yeah, I love blue. Blue is, oh, I know what I could do. I could just put Wink of Stella on it. I forget about this sometimes. That way it'll be shiny without changing the color. Yeah. I like it. I absolutely love blue too. There's this color of a truck, and it's the Ford F-150. Yeah, I think it's the only brand of truck with it. And it's a certain blue, and I can usually tell if it's not that blue. I'm looking for my little brush that I was using yesterday. This one's got gunk in it. I've got some brush cleaner, but I rarely use it. I need to. Because some of these brushes are really, they need some care. I'm bad about caring for my brushes. Anyway, so this is one blue, and I can tell when something is not that. I go, oh, that's a beautiful blue, but it's not exactly the one I like the best. And wow, look at all these brushes that need to be cleaned. Well, I guess this one will have to do. It's still bothering me. Oh, that's close enough. Alright, so this is my sparkly watercolors. And since they work, I kind of decided I didn't need to buy another watercolor set of the glittery watercolor. well, the regular watercolor sets too, since I have them. But they work. They work just fine. I mean, the ones I would want are the more expensive ones. Like the Art Spirits. I'd love to have some of theirs. But I just can't justify spending that much on watercolors. When you hold your breath every time someone uses Wink of Stella on screen. We hold our breath? Or you hold your breath? Why do you hold your breath? The artsy? Oh yeah, yeah. The ones that sort of look like Paul Rubens. Yeah, I almost got those. I almost got those, but because I've got these, I'm like, well, they're okay. Like, see, you can. Maybe they're not quite as shiny as some. But they're good enough. There's the silver. I think if I used watercolor all the time, that it might be worth getting better set. These dry really fast, so you either have to work fast or you're just constantly spraying. But if you spray it with the water or put a drop of water on there, you've got to wait a certain amount of time for it to get the thickness that you want, or the thickness of it I want. And then you use it for a little while and it dries out. So you just gotta, so I don't know, maybe that's just the way they all work. Which is fine. Oop, guess I can do this one. These, no, they're not the Artex. I really couldn't tell you what they were. They're just a random Chinese brand. I think they begin with an E. They came with a little packet of paper. Oh, I've got it here. See, the packet of paper, but this doesn't have the name on it either. I thought it did. I haven't even used these. But if you go find glitter watercolors and find this type of paper packet, that's the one. Like I said, I think it begins with an E. But I was just trying to save money there, you know, at the beginning. That's before I started teaching again. So I had a limited amount of money to work with. I mean, I still do have a limited amount, but not as much as then. So I said, well, what's the best bang for my buck? This brush, I've got to try to revive it. It's hideous. What about those side paints? CSY? Do any of y'all have those? I think they're handmade, but maybe not as handmade as the Art Spirits. I mean, they don't look like these little square rectangle things. They don't look like that, so. I'll search and look when I get time. Oh, here's a tip for your watercolor. You probably know this. When you have the watercolor palette like this and you're done with it, you want to leave it open until it completely dries. Otherwise, it'll get moldy and stuff. I'm going to go look for the paint set that I bought, because I bet I can find it. Okay, watercolors. I'll just look in my orders. What pops up? Interesting. A lot of bags, cases pop up. Okay, there it is. It's called Arco Metallic Watercolor. I don't see one of those little share buttons. So I can put it like this. Okay, so that's the ones I got. What I did was I wanted this case, and I wanted the colors in here, but the case that this little plastic holder, this came in, these paints came in, they wouldn't fit, so I cut off some edges, I think on this side, and I might have cut everywhere. No, I just cut here. And that way they could all fit. I suppose I could have popped them out and put them in a different, like one of those little trays, but at the time that made sense to me, so that's what I did. I hope that helps. Looks like it went in there. Okay, I've been at it 2.5 hours and I'm starving. So looks like we got a lot done, which is nice. Let me zoom out. A little bit. Zoom out here. Okay, so we got this part finished, and I showed you how to make these little underground motif things, and I did this corner, which I think turned out pretty well. You're welcome. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate everybody that comes in, and whether you lurk or not, you know, I'm grateful for that. It does. Yep, I enjoy watching people's streams and listening to it, just lurking, and I can get things done or do something, you know, artsy at the moment. Yeah, y'all have a great weekend, and I will be on Tanya's and Emily's streams tonight, since I don't have to teach. Yay. See y'all later.